Good day, everyone. Our topic for today is all about teaching representation for kindergarten to grade 3. But before that, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell for more updates. Also, you will find different subjects in this YouTube channel. Just select the playlist section. And now let's proceed to our main topic for today, which is all about the different instructional strategies that you can use in teaching representation for kindergarten to grade 3. But before that, let us first analyze what are the characteristics of a student learning specifically in kindergarten and grade 1. So, a grade 1 student or a kindergarten student may visually recognize and print the numerals from 0 to 100, but may still be confused about the written position of numerals, particularly the numerals for the teens, which are 13, 14 to 19. Because the oral representations of the teens are the reverse of the visual. For example, if asked to write 17, they might write the 7 first and then put the digit 1 to the left of the 7. They write the correct numerals, but they give evidence of having difficulty in matching the sound of the numbers with its appearance. The word 17 begins with the word and sound of 7, so intuitively, it might seem to them that the 7 should be written first. Some students will reverse digits. For example, when identifying two-digit numbers, they will write 37 as 73. May be able to use 0 as a placeholder in two-digit numbers, although their understanding of the importance of 0 based on its position may not be fully developed. Represent numbers to 50 using cubes, tally marks, placement on a hundreds charts, or a line number, or a number line, and so on. By the end of the grade, they also consolidate their understanding of ordinal numbers such as first, second, tenth, and possibly higher. May have procedural knowledge that allows them to write the number 34 but not have a conceptual understanding of numbers in the tens place as representing groups of 10 objects. If you ask students which digit is the number 23 represents more, they may say 3. A significant conceptual leap is made then the student move from understanding the number 23 as 23 single units to understanding 23 as two groups of 10 units and 3 single units. Are able to represent fractions, parts, of a whole, particularly one half, using concrete materials. They usually have more difficulty with the representation of one half of a group of objects. Determining one half of 6 counters is more difficult than finding one half of a chocolate bars. Continue to have a naive understanding of place value. They need many opportunities to represent the tens digits as groups of 10 objects so that they can build an understanding of 23 as two groups of 10 objects and 3 single units. They also need experience with numbers beyond the teens before they develop an understanding of the concepts of tens. For example, they need to be able to compare the two tens in 21 with the three tens in 31 in order to make the connection between tens and place value. Now, what are the different instructional strategies that we can use in teaching kindergarten or grade 1 about representation? Number 1, providing many continuing experiences with numbers in real-world situation, role-playing situation, games, center activities, and so on, so that students consolidate their understanding of a nominal, the cardinal, and the ordinal representation of numbers. Providing many opportunities to construct and partition numbers and to make representation of numbers and parts of numbers using number lines, 10 frames, rec and recs, 100 charts, calculators, computer games, and manipulatives such as cubes. Providing continuing experiences of building or grouping objects into five, example, in tallies, and into tens, example, bundles of 10 craft sticks, to help students recognize the relationship between numbers, especially in understanding place value, providing many opportunities to develop a consolidated understanding of 10 as a whole with a relationship to all other numbers. Example, bundle units into tens to represent 20 days of school during calendar activities. Providing experiences with fraction in real life situation. Example, cut lunch sandwiches in half, split a chocolate bar in half. Now let's proceed to the characteristics of student learning in grade 2. They recognize simple fraction as representational of a parts of a whole and compare the amounts that fraction represent. Example, compare 1/2 and 1/4 and recognize that 1/2 is larger using concrete materials. They also may still be developing their understanding of place value, particularly in the recognition that a group of 10 objects must be perceived as a single item. Example, in the number 23, the 2 represents two sets of 10 objects, a fairly sophisticated concept, and that the quantitative value of the digit is derived from its position. For instance, students at this age may look upon the number 33 as 33 single unit, not 3 groups of tens and 3 single units, or 2 sets of tens and 13 single units. Students may also have difficulty as to represent a number, for example 33, and then write the number that is 10 more or 10 less than 33. May not yet have identified the pattern of adding by tens in base 10 numeration. When asked to add 10 mentally to 34, they may not be able to do so without counting by ones. Can typically recognize and print numerals to 500, but some students may still continue to reverse digits into two-digit and three-digit numbers when reading and writing numbers. They continue to develop and consolidate their understanding of ordinary numbers. Example, talk about the 31st day of school. Instruction. There are different instructions that we can use in teaching grade 2 students regarding the representation or how to represent numbers. For instance, providing opportunities to represent quantities to 100 in a variety of problem solving. Providing many continuing experiences with numbers in real world situation, role playing situations, games, books, center activities, and so on, so that students consolidate their understanding of the representation for one, tens, and hundreds. Providing many experiences of writing numerals in authentic writing situation. Providing many experiences of making groups of 10 and trading ones of 10 for tens, particularly through games such as spinning for a flat, and providing opportunities to represent numbers from 1 to 100 in various concrete ways. Example, use base 10 blocks, interlocking cubes, money, geoboards, 10 frames, so that students can observe the relationship between numbers. Providing many continuing opportunities to develop a consolidated understanding of 10 as a whole with relationship to all other numbers. Example, bundle single units into tens to represent 20 days of school during calendar activities. Providing experiences of representing fractions concretely and pictorially. Providing experiences of comparing fractions using concrete materials. Example, patterns, blocks, fraction blocks, uh, questionnaire, rods, or pictures, and providing opportunities to use calculators to explore how adding or subtracting tens affect this digit in the tens place. Example, link the movement on the number line or hundreds charts with what occurs on the calculator as 10 is added to or taken away from the number. Now, finally, we have the characteristics of grade 3 students in learning representation. Actually, they already have or perceive sets of tens as single entities and recognize that the value of the digit depends on its placement. They may have consolidated an understanding that adding 10 automatically includes a change in the tens place so that they immediately recognize 43 and 10 as 53. Often know how to represent larger numbers but may initially still write 100 and 400 and 4 as 104 instead of 1004. They may be able to recognize and use standard and non-standard base 10 models to help them work with place, value in computation, and problem solving. For example, they may know the standard place value division of 53 into 5 tens and 3 ones, as well as the non-standard place value of 53 into 4 tens and 13 ones. Concepts that helps considerably in reasoning about numbers in problem-solving situations. Read and print numbers to 1000. Occasionally, two-digit reversal may still occur. They also use and understand 0 as a placeholder in the three-digit numbers. Begin to understand that fractions are based on separating a whole into equal shares. That the more parts there are, the smaller the portions, and that the size of the whole does not change even though the whole can be shared in many equal ways. They also recognize that the total number of equal shares into which a whole is divided and represented by the denominator, and that the number of those equal shares begin considered in represented by the numerator. Now, what are the different instructional strategies that we can use to teach grade 3 students in terms of representation? 1. Providing opportunities to estimate quantities to 100 in a variety of problem-solving situations. 2. Providing many continuing experiences with numbers to 1000 in real-world situations, role-playing situations, games, center activities, and so on, so that children consolidate their understanding of ones, tens, and hundreds, providing many experiences of writing numbers in relevant contexts, providing many opportunities to develop mathematics concepts and basic facts in an engaging context. Example, use games that focus on experiences with trading ones, tens, and hundreds, providing many continuing opportunities to see models of the numbers from 0 to 100 and see the charts giving the corresponding numerals and number words, providing many continuing opportunities to see models on the numbers from 100 to 1000 and to see charts giving the corresponding numerals, providing opportunities to represent numbers from 1 to 1000 in various concrete ways. Example, using base 10 blocks, interlocking cubes, money, and geoboards. And next, providing many opportunities to use numbered lines, calculators, 100 charts, and so on to help students develop an understanding of how the movement of a digit to the right or left significantly alters its value, and to help students recognize the patterns that such movement creates, providing experiences with representation of fractions as both parts of the whole objects and parts of the set of objects, and connecting these parts to the symbol for numerator and denominator. So that's all about the topic of teaching representation for K to 3. With that, thank you very much for listening and good day.